have apprehended the criminals and we've recovered your vehicle. It makes for better living. But to justify this money now, you have to, first of all, tell us those strategic locations, because that's how we'll calculate the number of cameras that will be installed, the manpower, the resources, the technology, the hardware. Because all of this is about justifying the figure. So what locations? What level of work will go on? How long would this project require? Where would these cameras be installed? Beyond security, would these cameras also help with other things like, traffic? There are traffic lights in many parts of the state, and many people run red lights. Sometimes you want to be a good citizen and you're waiting. One bus is just from nowhere, just pass. Will this CCTV also help us to catch those criminals that mask themselves as bus drivers? These are questions that must be answered. So that tomorrow, if we as residents of Port Harcourt say, you know what? We spent 24 billion naira on a surveillance system. People from other states will be like, yes, I can attest to that. It's world class. It really does help you solve your problems. But if these questions cannot be answered, then those strategic locations across Port Harcourt and environs just might be a mirage. After the break, we talk. Stay with me. Reports at least 1,686 people were killed in 909 incidents of gang-related violence across Nigeria between January 2020 and March 2025. Rivers State recorded the highest number of deaths, which is 215, followed by Lagos with 197 and Edo with 192, confirming their status as long-standing hotspots for cult and gang rivalries. The report names cult groups such as Vikings, Icelanders, Black Axe, Aide, and Greenlanders as key players in the violence. The South-South region alone accounted for over 750 deaths, largely due to recurring cult clashes in Rivers, Delta, and Bayelsa. In the Southwest, more than 491 fatalities were reported, mainly in Lagos and Ogun states, where confrontations between Aide and Eye confraternities persist. Okay. So we can argue about the facts. Oh, Rivers State is not number one. Oh, it's number two. No, how can we be ahead of this state? Well, you cannot accurately have that argument if you are not presented with data, accurate data that you trust. But whether you agree that Rivers State is number one or not, you have to admit that there is a cult problem in Nigeria, and Rivers State has a fair share, right? Whether we are number 5, number 10, we know that gang rivalries, gang problems are a thing that we need to tackle. Every 2 market days, you interview some head of a vigilante group, some local security, about a disturbance in some part of town, and they tell you, oh, this calls boys when they have problems, when they do this. So it's a thing, right? And my concern, a concern of Nigeria for a very long time, is it's now an industry. And you think about when something becomes an industry, when an activity becomes an industry, is that it is consistently fed. It is sponsored. So that means there are people that are responsible for that industry thriving. That means there are factories, there are incubation systems, there are results, there are targets. Yes, that's exactly what it is. The culture of cultism is a thing in Nigeria. And unfortunately, politics has a lot to play in the proliferation of these groups and their activities. If you are a graduate, you were sent to school by parents, you have people who looked after you at some point in life, a sponsor, a ward, a guardian rather, not a ward, a sponsor, a guardian, or a parent. You're done with secondary school and you're about to go into university. One of the pieces of advice you get from your parents is don't join cults. As you are going to school, some people don't use the word cult, but they'll say don't follow bad boys. What they're trying to tell you is all these people that meet at night at certain places and perpetrate the kind of evil can both send you to jail and hell at the same time. Don't join them. Most parents advise their kids. My father also, when I got admission into music, say you're my only son. Remember the father of who you. How did they say that thing? No, the son of who you are. Yes, that's it. Don't forget where you are coming from. Like a week now. Let me go to school, please. I need an education. But he expressed the concern of every Nigerian parent because cultism is a scourge we have had to deal with for a long time. And unfortunately, as hallowed as our education system is supposed to be, our tertiary institutions have in some way also promoted cultism. Almost every Nigerian university, public university, has some cult, there are cults that are known, that live somewhere. And then most schools also have an anti-cultism unit. My school had it. And then they used to say, people in cultism are cultists, right? There are things, you hear things here and there. And before somebody you know very well, tomorrow you say, that guy in a cult, you say, really, I know this guy. So it's something that we have somehow learned to live with. It's not really about whether we are number one or number two. It's a problem that exists. It's difficult to fight. Not impossible, but, right? Problems. And so this report is claiming that within the space of 5 years, over 200 deaths have been connected to this unfortunate industry. So what do? We do everything required to be done. At the family level, play your part in raising your child as well as you should. At an institutional level, from the level of government, we must pay attention to security. Right? So come down on practitioners of this industry. And on a socio-economic level, we must provide jobs and provide an enabling business environment for young people. So that a person does not look at being a cultist and being, an employee or a job creator and somehow cultism is attractive. Because I really don't see I don't know what one advantage is. I have no idea. Maybe I just don't know. So, this should be a wake-up call to not just the authorities, but to everyone. Guess what? It's your kids, it's your best in you that make up these numbers, that empower this industry. Coming up next, we'll be talking about an ex-presidential aide who claims that former President Buhari left office with his integrity intact. The number to call is 0817 923 0002. 0817 923 0003. WhatsApp is 080 9306 416. We have on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube at Nigeria Info PH. You can watch, listen, and engage. Please turn off your radio as call.